Welcome to Plymouth Ice Center for Lake Conference Girls Hockey. A good matchup for you this afternoon. It is the Eden Prairie Eagles, the conference leader, taking on the Wayzata Trojans on Wayzata's home rink. I'm Jay Wilcox along with Dan Ficken, and Dan, it shapes up as what could be a pretty good, interesting game. Both teams are pretty young, but both teams are pretty talented, and as the season's gone along, you can see they both made some pretty good progress.
Well, they really have. Eden Prairie's 8-1 in their last 9 games, and Wayzata's 5-2, 5-2-1 in their last 8 games. So they're doing really well. They're very solid teams, both from the pipes out. They can score goals. They can play very good defense, good goaltending, very solid, which is surprising because both of them are very young teams.
Second meeting of this season. The first one went to Eden Prairie by a 4-1 score, although Jess Christofferson, the Wayzata coach, felt like her team actually played pretty well in that game. And maybe the score didn't indicate that, they felt they skated with the Eagles for the most part.
Yeah, she really was optimistic about it. She felt good, but they have a little problem in the third period. They tend to, if they give up a goal, they give up another one in the third period. So they got to take that third period and really clamp it down. When they got a lead going in, shut them down. Get some goals, get the puck in the other end of the zone and work it.
Talk about key players to look at in today's game, starting with Eden Prairie, a player who's just had a phenomenal sophomore season. Sydney Langseth, and I thought it was very interesting. Coach Jamie Grossman told us one of the biggest reasons she's so good is because she competed head-to-head in practice against Naomi Rogie, who's now at UMD.
Yeah, an all-state player, one of the better players in the state, is lighting up the WCHA for the Bulldogs. And Sydney wanted to play against her every single day, every single drill, every single shift. Hey, guess what? She got really good. 42 points this year, 6 power play goals. A sophomore. Oh, she gonna be fun to watch today. I'll tell you, she's something.
And for Wayzata, we're going to talk about one of their juniors, Alexa Osseo, leading goal scorer for the team on the year. She had a good offseason too, and really has made her into a pretty solid varsity player in the Lake Conference.
Coach Christofferson, she just kind of beamed when we asked about her because of that work that she did in the offseason. It's hard to get kids in the summer to roll. She got better with her speed. She got stronger. She's got really good hands. In fact, the one criticism that she had was that she wished she'd be more selfish and shoot the puck some more. So they're going to have 2 people out today with the flu, so she's going to have to step up. And let's see if she gets a little more selfish against the Eagles here and pumps a few pucks in for the Trojans.
As Dan touched on, Wayzata a little bit shorthanded with a couple of forwards from their first 3 lines on the shelf today with the flu. So makes the job a little bit tougher, but not undoable for Wayzata here as this late season matchup in the Lake Conference. Heading towards section time, Eden Prairie in section 2 and Wayzata in the loaded section 6 AA field. We'll be back to drop the puck here in just a moment. It's Lake Conference Girls Hockey on Hockey Day Minnesota. Eden Prairie and Wayzata up next.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
And welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center as Eden Prairie and Wayzata get set to do battle here. Eden Prairie, after a recent win over Edina, the only unbeaten team in the Lake so far at 5-0. Wayzata in third place behind the Hornets right now, and both teams looking to continue strong runs and kind of close out the regular season strong as they get ready for their respective tournaments here. Boy, the season goes quick, especially with the girls.
Yeah.
It starts pretty early, mid-November, to be advancing. There's a look at Jamie Grossman, the 7th-year head coach for the Eagles, and obviously some tremendous success. He said this team, we admit, not as dominant because we're young, but becoming better and better, and going to be a good club overall. Jess Christofferson, the Trojans' 2nd-year head coach, and
with Coon Rapids, a state tournament entrant and a very good player at Coon Rapids back in the day as well. Yep. So we get set to drop the puck here. And we are underway in Prairie and black, of course, and Wayzata in the home whites. Trojans bank it ahead into the EP zone. Tap down to the corner here by Sophie Urban. Langseth trying to dig that puck free for Eden Prairie, and now they do get it out of there at least briefly. Now Macy Townsend sending it ahead, and here comes Carrie Burns. Burns pushing it to the corner. Obviously, Wayzata fans well aware of this, but the Plymouth Ice Center, formerly an Olympic-size sheet, in the offseason underwent a renovation and is now a standard-size rink, so little different playing surface here from the past years at Plymouth. Carried to the center there, and a shot attempt from Gretchen Branton is knocked aside pretty easily there. Eden Prairie is very good in that. We'll talk about Alexa Dobchak in a moment here, and a very solid senior goaltender for EP. Here comes Becca Niss. She fires, and Grace Boswell-Healy making the stop there for Wayzata. Trojans nearly turned it over, but then pushed back out to center by Branton, and Eden Prairie has to regroup here. Pass ahead onto the tape of Grace Kuipers. It lays loose in front. Both teams hacking away at it, trying to get an opportunity over the Eagles, and Wayzata trying to clear it, and ultimately nothing much develops out of that. Trojans up with the puck now. They will throw it in and head off on a change as Dobchuk stops it here for Eden Prairie, and leaving it now for Crystalline Hengler, one of the captains and a University of Minnesota recruit.
Well, Wayzata here known for their quick starts. They've had very good first periods this year, outscoring their opponents 19-9 in the first period. And it's important for their game, so we'll see if they can get a couple on the board against the Eagles.
Boswell-Healy making the stop there on the long attempt by Crystalline Hengler. Grace Boswell-Healy on the year, a 5-2 record, 1.85 goals against, and .896 save percentage. She has one shutout. She has split time with Stephanie Garvis. Pretty, with Stephanie playing more. But getting the nod today is Grace Boswell-Healy. Here come the Trojans to center, but not. That rush is interrupted, and they'll have to regroup and start again on the back, swing it around. And they've made some changes, for today's game, certainly with the illnesses to a couple of their players, but also they've moved a couple of players who had been defensemen and moved them up front. And one of those right there nearly had the interception, Emily Wisniewski, a very talented junior, is now centering their top line today. Here's a long shot on goal, and Sydney Langseth firing, and Boswell-Healy making the stop as you get a look at Grace and giving her an opportunity in there today against a good squad. They feel pretty confident in both their goalies, Stephanie Garvis and Grace Boswell-Healy.
Well, this is the time of year, though. You want to see one of your goalies step up. You're getting close to sections when they want to make a run, put 6 games together, and so they're going to take a hard look at the goalies now. It's crunch time, and I'm sure in the next few games both of them will get an opportunity.
There's a turnover. Langseth with a shot. It hits the pipe. Whoa, she had beat Boswell-Healy high stick side, but it goes off the goal post. Now thrown to the front, deflected a couple times and knocked out of there. Wisniewski getting to it for Wayzata, but that pass intercepted nicely at center by Gigi Jacobson. Her shot bouncing wide. Eden Prairie's had the better of things in the early going here and just had a near miss on the shot that glanced off the goal post. Addie Hackley moving it out nicely for Wayzata, looking left side with it to Sophie Urban. She will throw it in and head off. Dobchuk, besides being a good goaltender, handles the puck very well, moves very well, and boy, that can be a great benefit to your defense if she's able to, just kind of calm things down, stop that puck, and get things going the other direction.
Well, it takes another weapon away from the Trojans. They just can't dump it because generally they're going to lose the puck.
Monica Swanson sending it down to the corner here. Branton lost her footing briefly, but keeps possession. Turns, fires it off a skate, and Dobchuk had to make a save. There wasn't really a whole lot on that first shot, but it hit a skate out front. Alexa Dobchuk headed to Colgate, 14-6-1 this year, 1.79 goals against, and a .926 save percentage. There you see, it wasn't so much that the puck was moving all that fast, but it changed direction right in front of her, and that made that one a little bit of a tough stop.
The great killer of goalies when that puck changes direction that close.
Pass out front, and they couldn't get a stick down on it there as they tried to set up Anna Laugen. Now intercepted. Branton will spring it back the other way. Here comes Laugen. 2-on-3 on the rush. Went back to Branton, but chopped away there by Izzy Radley on a nice back check for the Eagles. And a pass out front. And the shot sent just wide by Sydney Remark.
Boy, and that's set up by the Trojans there, Jay. A trailer coming down the slot. Got a good shot of him with 17 Remark, I believe, with a good feed. I think she just missed the net or was deflected, but Trojans dangerous right there.
One thing Wayzata's looking to find is some more scoring, and Eden Prairie coach Grossman said he felt like maybe that was a little bit of the difference in their first game, is that his team maybe has just a couple more natural finishers than what Wayzata's had, and that can come with experience too. I mean, to a certain extent, maybe you're kind of a goal scorer or not, but obviously you can work at it, you can get better at it, and I think that'll happen for a lot of these Trojan players as they get a little bit older. Offside call here on the Eagles, and we'll bring it back outside the blue line for a face-off. 12:05 to go in this first period, and no score on the board, although we've had a chance or two at Eden Prairie kind of dominated early. Wayzata's had a couple good shifts here back-to-back.
Well, it's interesting. Both these teams are very good hockey teams, and they're just littered with ninth graders and sophomores too, Jay. And boy, look out, in the next few years, these teams are going to be really good.
You know, I think it's interesting too. I like the way that, you know, obviously they're in the Lake Conference. They're going to be playing really tough teams in their conference, but they're playing tough non-conference teams too. And I think a lot of, you know, coaches have really come to realize that your regular season record, it isn't that it doesn't matter, but you're trying to build toward the end.
Yeah.
So you're looking at a team with 6 losses here and a team with 7 losses, but that doesn't mean they're not among the better teams in the state.
Well, they can play, you know, teams with 1 loss or undefeated teams. I mean, the sad part is that they're all stacked in sections, so you know they really got to fight hard to get to state, and they're really good hockey teams. There's a team that won't get into the sections that maybe deserves to get in there because they're that good, but the way they spread it out in the state, that's the way it is.
Wayzata right now, Coach Christofferson figures them to be probably the 3rd seed in Section 6AA. They're not going to catch Blake or Edina for those top 2 spots, and she felt pretty good about their chances to hold the 3rd spot in there. So obviously Blake moving up from Class A to AA and jumping in and being in Section 6AA, whereas Edina also came into the section a few years back. So obviously it's no cakewalk by any means, and Eden Prairie in a tough one as well in Section 2.
Oh yeah, but you know, you're looking at number 1 and number 3 in the same section, and these Trojans tied Blake. I mean, on any given day, these teams can beat each other. Blake is not guaranteed to get into the AA tournament here, especially if they got to play.
Flip behind the net and sent out front, and Dobchuk has to make another stop. Wayzata did a pretty nice job of creating a little bit of an opening there. They had a player behind and then getting it to the front. Dobchuk wasn't going to take any chances. She pounced on the opportunity to cover that puck as quickly as possible there.
All 3 Trojan forwards were right there too, and you're having trouble scoring goals. Get as many bodies in front of the net as you can and hope good things happen.
Branton working her way and then threw it out front, but Sloan Matthews had her stick tied up. Wayzata moving the puck nicely here on these last several shifts. Back out to center, and it's something Coach Christofferson talked to us about too, is that, you know, they've grown up playing, the Edinas and things like that. So she felt like her team is definitely not intimidated by them. They've played them on the way up. They've had some success and everything too. So those are the things that, for both of these programs. And let's face it, I mean, they're 2 very large high schools and in communities with a lot of young families. So they've got everything going for them, both Eden Prairie and Wayzata, so they should be good.
Absolutely. No question about it.
Pass tipped a couple of times now. Comes free at the Trojans' blue line, and then it pops up out of play over the Wayzata bench here. We've got a scoreless game so far. A little over 10 minutes to go in this first period here from Plymouth Ice Center in the second meeting of the season between the Trojans and the Eagles.
Oh you're talking with Coach Christopherson, too, about mental attitude and how they feel. I mean, these kids are confident that they feel they can beat Edina. They feel they can beat Blake. They feel they can beat Eden Prairie. There's no intimidation factor here. And, you know, if you got that mentality, you put together a good game, guess what? You can.
Macy Townsend controlling it at center here, and Eden Prairie dumping it in, and quick to it there was Burns, but she couldn't quite control it. Now gets tied up. Pinching in from the point there was Hengler, and they get it back down deep again as Swanson goes back to play it for Wayzata. Tip there and almost a takeaway. Good work by Macy Townsend there.
Well, both teams, they're not leaving a lot of space. They're keeping their gaps good. They're not giving a lot of room for movement. You're going to have to get rid of the puck and get it on somebody's stick. You're going to lose it, just like right there.
Coach Christopherson was talking about how, you know, they had taken a lead against Eden Prairie the first time, but she said, this is a team that buries your mistakes, and that's what we have to avoid. And we saw there where things got a little dicey on the breakout try there, and those are the things you can't afford. You know, if you obviously you don't want to turn the puck over anywhere, but where you definitely don't want to is, you know, high in the slot in your own zone.
Well, anytime with young teams like this too, you worry a little bit about a panic mode, but you know, this season, they've been into it this season for a long time now. There's no more panic now. They're used to playing in good games against very good teams, and you shouldn't have those turnovers.
Puck freed up there by Nora Wagner, coming in hard for EP. Takes the return pass behind the net. Now they come back out to the point with it. A long shot there, but knocked down. Never quite made it to Boswell Healy. Eden Prairie putting on some pressure with their forecheck these last couple shifts now. Addie Hackley looking for space to get it out. Does get a nice pass onto the stick of Wisniewski. Wisniewski throwing it to the middle, and a nice job tying the stick up. Then it came back out front, but it handcuffed Urban and got into her skate as she couldn't get a stick on it. Wayzata's done a pretty nice job of finding the trailer on a few of these rushes too. Here's Wisniewski controlling it and jabbed away from her, and then in turn knocked back the other way. Branton up with it. Shot goes wide as an Eden Prairie player lost her stick.
Be a slashing call here. And the net moved off.
Yeah, looks like just the net.
Well, I love Greta Brandon's moves. She's really trying hard to get into the slot with that puck. She made a nice cut there from the left side boards as she came in and walked right into the slot area. And you know what? If you're going to score a goal against good Dunkirk, that's where you're going to have to do it, right from the guts.
Puck bounces away in the corner there. Jacobson chasing it down and quickly reverses it to Izzy Radley for the Eagles. Knock right back in. Radley back to play it again here. Boy, neither team is backing off and allowing any easy out from the defenseman.
We talked before the game. Both these teams play a pretty complete game, defense, neutral, and attack zones. And right now, Wayzata's starting to take a little bit more control and get some momentum here. They've been putting more pressure on Eden Prairie.
Megan Marshall sending it over there to Anna Laugen, and now Branton up the middle and just knocked away from her. Eden Prairie, a good skating team, and it's a couple times it's really saved them because they've been able to close ground quickly and chop the puck away from an on-rushing forward. And in fact, it's been Branton a few of those times. Here comes Langseth trying to get around, but now Wisniewski takes it for Wayzata. Swings it back the other way now, looking for Laugen. That pass deflected. Puck mishandled just a little bit here, and Wayzata will have to regroup as Osseo picks it up. It's been quiet so far here today. Now here comes Osseo. Oh, not out. Langseth took it. Langseth into the backhand. Pretty good cover up there defensively by Hackley, as he took away what looked like it might be a pretty good scoring chance.
Osseo trying really hard, Jay, to get it out, and just a little too much, and Langseth just being the best. Took it right off her stick.
Long pass from the goaltender, Dobchek. And the Trojans pick it off and throw it back in. Dobchek will stop it again back there as she leaves it for Hengler, and her long pass, and just out of the reach. And near miss there as they tried to go home run to Grace Kuipers.
Good opportunity, good eyes up play. You know, you want to break some of that pressure. If you can bust somebody behind him in the neutral zone, try the home run pass.
Kuipers reached out for that puck and almost got it,
Yeah.
but the official was in great position to see whether she had made contact, which obviously would have taken the icing away there if she'd been able to just get her blade on it a little bit, but didn't quite happen. Turnover there by Eden Prairie, and then backhander didn't have much on it. Puck rolls along the dasher there, and now controlled by Becca Niss, but not for long. Again, there just isn't a lot of time on the way up ice for either team to really just skate the puck for a long time. If you don't get rid of it, somebody's going to pounce on you.
Well, both teams defensively use their sticks really well. They tie people up. They have a way of poke checking it off. And poke checking is a lost art. You know, if you can do that, you can disrupt the rush and be on your way without being physical.
Grace Kuipers throws it back in the corner, and now Eagles able to gain control. Long shot there from DeCesar, bounces wide. Pass whipped across here for Wayzata to Megan Marshall, and then knocked away though at center. Hengler back to play it. Her pass intercepted, but just offside. The puck had just come out of the blue line, and Hackley brought it back in. Pretty sweet seeing the nameplates on the back of the Wayzata jerseys here. You don't see it too awful many high school teams where they've got it, and they're nice ones too. They're very very legible, very big, and
yeah,
I like to see it. Here's a chance. Branton shot knocked down. Trojans free the puck up though behind the net. They had player Sloan Matthews out front if they could have gotten it to her, but didn't happen. Dobchuk will cover it up and hang on here as we get a face-off with 4:08 to go here in this first period. And Eden Prairie and Wayzata at 0-0. Not a lot of great chances, but definitely a lot of good end-to-end hockey and a lot of solid defensive hockey too.
Yeah, both teams playing very good defense. I'm particularly impressed with number 13 for Eden Prairie, Hengler, who's going to the U. You said, Jay?
Yes.
She's been very noticeable for the Eagles.
Goaltender's best friend, a defenseman that's always in the right position, can move the puck up ice, can help out offensively a little bit if needed too, and that's a valuable piece to have on any hockey team. Now here's Langseth walking in, shoots and scores. Well, just after I said we didn't have many chances, Langseth carrying the puck into the circle there, waited, picked her spot, and buries it, and it's 1-0 EP.
Turnover right there. She comes in. Now she's using the other player as a decoy and just rips a good shot. Oh, man, she hit that upper left corner. Nice. That was short side. And that would be 24th goal of the year for her. There's something about a score, when they can find the net, they can find the hole. You don't teach it, they just know how to do it.
2-on-2 rush here. Niss plays it to the corner. That pass back the other way, taken by Megan Marshall. Trojans get it back here and swing it across to Urban. Urban coming up ice, and she'll throw it in deep. Dobchuk back there to stop it. Lays it around to Townsend. They're forced to turn back here as Hengler now will come the other way with it. And they give it away. Out front it comes, a bouncing puck, and Dobchuk's going to grab that one, as Urban was lurking out front in case there was any rebound. So we'll get a face-off in the Eden Prairie zone here. Eagles now up 1-0 on the goal by Langseth.
The leading goal scorer gets them on top. But Wayzata's been having trouble coming up the right side boards, Jay. There's been 3 turnovers there. That second one is the one that cost them a goal. They just gave up another one there too. Well, you get it up that high, you got to get it out. You just got to get it out of the zone, because obviously you can see the Eagles are turning on you really fast.
This is one of those games where you can kind of see there's going to definitely be some between period, adjustments made or needing to be made based on how they're kind of choking off the breakout and how things are being done. Oh, there's a near turnover right there. Now the Eagles get it to the line, but Swanson able to block that one and flick it back out into the Eden Prairie zone. Swanson throws it back in. Branton had to tag up there and get back on side here for the Trojans. Now they force a turnover in deep. The pass deflected. Here's a backhander. Dobchuk to save. And the puck trickled free as she was never quite able to cover it. Opportunity there for Wayzata as Eden Prairie having the turnover nearly cost them.
Their defense closed ranks though there, Jay. Really nice in front. Spanier, whoever, just took the body and took them out of the play, and the puck just dribbled up, but no Trojan player was able to get to it because they were covered up.
Now again, Eden Prairie a little shaky with it out front. Here's a chance. Dobchuk staying with it, followed Branton all the way across, and wasn't much of an angle anymore by that time, and she just smothered it. Now a long one thrown in. Dobchuk to save. Branton going to the front, and she was jabbed at a little bit by Spanier there. You get a look right there. Just great hustle by Matthews to free it up. And then here's the chance on the sliding backhander
hit the post.
Laugen, and then it just missed. Yeah, you could see that it was one of the few times where Dobchuk was really scrambling. She was no longer in a spot to block that next one, and just glanced off the post. Nice job by Hengler to tip that one away.
Well, the Trojans are doing all the right things, Jay. I mean, they're just not getting it in the net. They're crashing the net. They're getting three people in front consistently. They're getting some rebound shots. And like you see, that hits the post, for heaven's sakes. They finally beat Dobchuk. The other part of this is Dobchuk's a really good goalie. Really good goalie. She's going to be tough to beat.
So each team has hit a pipe now in this contest. And a discussion here about, it's not a penalty, but just the officials want to make sure they're on the same page on that. Coach Grossman, I don't think, is complaining, more just asking what was the call or what was the discussion there.
We got a nice shot of number 13, Crystalline Hengler for the Eden Prairie Eagles. Been really impressive so far tonight for them. She's been playing very steady.
So under 40 seconds to go in this first period. Eden Prairie leading 1-0. Wayzata just had a very near miss a moment ago. They get it back out to center. Swanson will turn and throw it back in here. 20 seconds to go in the period as Hengler. And get a nice breakout going. Langseth, chance for a 2-on-1. Langseth coming hard up the middle, gives it over left side. And then Langseth's tip goes just over the net as Burns put it back out front. Boy, late in the period, the Eagles getting a golden opportunity on the rush there. I thought maybe at first Langseth had given the puck up too early, but then the return comes to her and she'll tip it just over the top as that one was deflected. And into the corner it goes. So we reach the end of period number 1. It's been as good as advertised so far here. Our score after 1, Eden Prairie 1 and Wayzata 0. We'll have more hockey from the Plymouth Ice Center here on CCX Sports. Welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center. Eden Prairie leading Wayzata by a score of 1-0 here through one period. Let's look at some first period highlights. Pretty good first period of hockey here and see some of the opportunities generated. A turnover here. Langseth will wind up with the near miss there for Eden Prairie in the early going. Wayzata getting some chances, mainly from working the puck down low. Here they go from behind the net, thrown out front. Dobchuk And then she comes out to pounce on that one. Langseth from the circle, this time scoring a lone goal of the period. A tremendous wrist shot there, beating Oswell Healy. And then a great forecheck frees this one up, and coming in backhander there, a nice safe Dobchuk, and then it comes loose and just squirts right through the slot. Best chance for Wayzata. And then this was in the final seconds of the period on the rush. Eden Prairie getting a chance as Langseth went for the tip after passing it over to the left wing there, Burns. See the shots slightly in favor of Wayzata, scoring chances about even. We did not have a penalty in that first period, so a good first period of hockey, and we look for a couple more to come here on Hockey Day Minnesota. It is Eden Prairie 1, Wayzata nothing. We'll be right back here to Plymouth.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
Eden Prairie back on the ice here as they hold a 1-0 lead heading into period number 2 here at the Plymouth Ice Center. Along with Dan Fickett, I'm Jay Wilcox. Thanks for watching Lake Conference Girls Hockey here on CCX Sports. We've had a good week of hockey here in this last week. Well, we talked about how Eden Prairie has got the lead in the Lake Conference. They had a recent win over Edina to hand the Hornets their first conference loss. So the first time through +1, they are at 5-0 right now, and be a pretty big deal to win the conference for anybody in this conference. Even though it's only a 5-team thing, and yeah, you're thinking more about what you do in the playoffs.
Yep.
But to put a Lake Conference trophy up would be pretty good accomplishment for them this year if they're able to do it.
Funny thing about this conference, at least 2 teams are rated in the top 10 usually, and that goes for boys and or girls. It's a tough conference to win. Well, Wayzata right now just got to find a way to get the puck in the net. They've been doing everything well offensively. Defensively, they're playing good and tough. The only problem they have, watch for number 3 in black and red. Eden Prairie, keep doing what you're doing. Goaltender's doing well, and just take advantage when you get an opportunity down on the Wayzata end.
It was an interesting first period because I thought both teams had their moments, but kind of in different styles or different ways. Most of Wayzata's stuff was generated, down low and with a trailer coming to join the play, whereas Eden Prairie maybe a little bit, more skilled or faster on the rush are able to generate some things that way. So interesting battle, and we'll see what adjustments have been made here in this second period. Nice job for the Trojans to get it out here. Osseo carrying it. She's alone for the moment, though. And her shot deflected wide. Dobchuk knocks it back. Slapped over to the corner. And a collision at the blue line. They really let them play. No penalties in that first period. And when we were looking at our highlights, there were definitely a couple that maybe could have been. So they've let them play here, and I think both teams have played smartly in that way. You're not seeing any, really out of line stick work or anything like that. Here's the pass out front, and the shot going wide off the stick there of Matthews. And then a pass to the corner taken. I wonder, it almost seemed like Hengler called for that puck, and they passed it to her. Now pushed to the corner there as Nis got stood up. Nis loses her glove as she was tied up there by Megan Marshall. Now Logan throwing it in deep here for Wayzata. And an interception by Branton, who's been all over the place in this first period plus now. And this one will bounce up out of play here, and we'll get a face-off coming up. Pretty quick first period. A lot of end-to-end stuff. Not a ton of whistles, and we said no penalties, obviously, so that always helps the flow of a game as well.
Both teams good at moving the puck to each other. I really like the way they move the puck to each other, both teams. Not a lot of sloppy wildness, etc.
I thought, I'm going to be an icing call here. I thought Coach Grossman from Eden Prairie made a nice point when we were talking to him before the game. He said the players, the younger players come in have learned to play together as the season has gone along. it wasn't that they were being selfish before, but it's just when you're a younger player, you're maybe on the youth level able to dominate and, you know, kind of stick handle through everybody yourself. And sometimes in tough moments, those kind of habits came out a little bit again early in the season. And, you know, you get on the varsity hockey and you kind of have to learn to trust your teammates to make plays and to give up the puck and all that kind of thing. And I think it's an adjustment, and he said that, you know, it's gotten there more and more as this season's gone. And that was a good observation by a coach who's obviously been around hockey for a long time.
Oh, absolutely, Jay. I mean, the record reflects that. They were 7-5-1, then now they're 8-1 since then. Yeah, they're pulling it together. You're right. And a lot of times it takes just learning where everybody's going to be at on your line.
And Boswell Healy having to make a save there. Ava Wagner was all alone really up the left wing. Wayzata took away the other half of the ice, but she had a pretty clean look at the net. And Grace had to be ready for that one, and she was.
Number 12, Megan Marshall, did a great job of taking that backside winger out of the play. So goalie didn't have any problem.
Langseth chased back with it here as Wayzata making change. Obviously, it's the short change for their offensive zone this period, so they were able to pretty much complete a change even while the puck wasn't in all the way deep. Now thrown toward the net. Dobchek not going to take any chances with that. Those can be kind of dangerous sometimes, and she gives a little smile there. A short hopper like that are not that much fun for a goaltender.
Yeah, funny thing, she's had that smile on her face the whole game, Jay. I mean, she's having fun. I think she really likes the competitiveness and everything of it. Yeah, she knows she's good. She just loves being challenged. Uh-oh.
Here comes a rush. Burns, a 2-on-1. Burns will take the shot herself and misfired as Hackley got over to bother her. That one, maybe a pass would have been in order there, but now it is kicked down deep. Langseth trying to pull it out of there, battling with Wisniewski.
Well, there's my pet peeve right there. You got a 2-on-1. You hit the net with the puck. If you don't pass it, at least put it in the goalie's pads and give it a rebound chance.
They keep the puck moving now. A turnaround try there was blocked as Carrie Burns shot it. Here's Langseth spinning away from a defender and then tried to bring it out front, and Boswell Healy able to pounce on that one and cover it up here. So we'll get a draw in the Wayzata end.
That Burns-Langseth line is every time they're on the ice, they're dangerous. I think out of like the 6 or 7 shifts in the first period, they had 6 or 7 opportunities.
And with his, there's a high shot that gets all the way through as it came from the point from Jacobson. With as many good players as there are on the ice, it's kind of hard to really stand out, but that, you're right, that line is.
Yeah.
Matthews coming away with it off that face-off. Branton trying to get free to get to it, but again, good speed out. It's going to be a penalty.
Here we go.
Branton hauled down Spanier, and that'll be our first penalty of the contest there, as Spanier did a good job of winning that race to the puck, and Branton just got to stick into her a little bit there, and there's going to be a slashing call.
Well, Eden Prairie killing penalties at an 88%, almost 90% rate. They've only allowed 8 power play goals in 70 attempts. I'm sorry, my fault. Wayzata, jeepers. 84%, leaving up 7 power play goals in 44 attempts.
Langseth walking in, and fires, and that one bounces to the corner off Boswell Healy. Townsend trying to get it back over now to Jacobson. Jacobson fanning on that first try. Langseth throwing it behind the net. They look out front, but it's right to a Wayzata player, and Urban knew what to do with that one. Dobchuk will stop it here for the Eagles. So Eden Prairie, first power play of the game for either team. Osseo being a pest there, knocking it free, and now she'll head off for a new penalty killer to come up front.
Well, her speed is very obvious. Coach Cristal talked about it all the time. She improved it all the summer. It was just a pest on that last penalty kill rush.
Langseth circling the net here for EP. She'll go to the point with it for Hengler. Long high shot into the glove of Boswell Healy, and we will get another draw in the Trojan zone. 57 seconds to go in the Eden Prairie power play.
It was a good save by Healy there. Jay. There was an Eden Prairie stick trying to get a tip about 5 feet in front of her.
Hengler shooting, and another glove catch there, and then things get a little physical out front. I think Eden Prairie would maybe like to keep those shots from the point, a little bit lower where you can get either a tip or a better chance at a rebound. They're putting it into Grace's glove a little more than they'd like.
Well, Trojans is doing a good job of pushing everybody out of the way so she can see the puck all the way, too.
Back out to the point. Hengler, this time a low rocket and a blocker save by Grace Boswell-Healy there. She's had to come up big a few times on this power play, and there's another rising drive that hits the glass. But Eden Prairie keeps possession. Langseth walking in. Ooh, and a nice stop there. Tried to go short side again on the stick side. Hengler shooting. That one bounces wide. Langseth picks it up again. Hengler, this time will swing it around. Now they come back out high. Hengler's going to let it rip, and that one bounces way up into the netting. It's kind of been a shooting gallery here. Wayzata's done a nice job of letting their goaltender see the puck. However, they've not been able to get to the puck to clear it on any of these rebounds either.
Well, we saw that one-time Langseth, and we were looking at the pass. Hengler coming out here, getting a good shot, but again, high. Gigi Jacobson, their defense, they got her down low, bugging the goalie, big body down there. And one of these times, Langseth's going to swip through from the midboards there and try to get a shot.
Trojans clear it, and that'll about do it for the penalty. Branton, he is now out. Wayzata's killed it off, although it was actually a decent power play. Now put out front. Here's a chance, and Dobchek has to make a save just after Wayzata had killed off a penalty. Eden Prairie had a puck get away from them there in the offensive zone. Osseo gave it to Urban, and then the chance coming up on the follow-up, it was Remark. And Dobchek had to be ready. Now off the draw, quick close to get to that puck there, Burns, but nothing materializes out of that. They'll have to regroup in the defensive zone here. The Eagles jabbed away. Now DeCesar picks it up again for the Eagles, plays it out, and then right back in. Hengler, who seems like she's out there most of the night, right? Or afternoon, I should say. And why not? Not a bad idea.
Have Gatorade can play, coach. I'm ready.
Yeah. Puck bounces free past Marshall, and the race is on. Burns gets there. Burns putting it out front and just slammed wide by Kuipers. Boy, Burns really can skate. There's been a number of times where it didn't really look like she had the advantage to get to a puck, and then just quick strides, and boom, there she is.
Another 10th grader.
That one deflected alongside the net. Wayzata trying to generate a chance quickly here as they get set up in the offensive zone. Branton looking out front. Oh, it's a goal! Bounces in either off Dobchek or a defenseman, and Wayzata will tie things up. Just trying to throw it out front, and Dobchek spun around. I think it might have been off the goaltender. But Branton will get the goal.
Little sneaky back there. She made a motion.
Oh, yeah, it was off the defenseman's skate, actually, off Hengler. And Branton, it'll count just the same as we're evened up at 1-1.
Take him any way you can get it, the freshman. And she's played a really good game. She's had some opportunities, and she got kind of a lucky one there, but they don't note them as lucky goals in the newspaper. It's just a goal. Tied the game up, and I'll tell you what, despite the rating, Wayzata's playing with this team. I mean, this is an even game, up and down.
Eden Prairie looking to quickly answer, and then Boswell-Healy covers up. So Wayzata getting on the board with, like you said, a little bit of a bounce here, but that's just fine. You'll take that one too as 9th goal of the year for Branton.
Well, what's been notable about both teams too, Jay, is when one's had some momentum, the other team would find a way to just answer. Both teams have answered very well. Goaltenders have been challenged, and I think they've both done a good job.
Puck banked out. Urban had it knocked loose. Pinballs around back and forth. Osseo briefly had it there, but swept away from her by Radley. I think the intensity has really picked up a little bit here now, too. Here's Wisniewski trying to put it across to Urban. We've seen a lot more physical play here. I think that goal kind of fired both teams up, it looks like. Eden Prairie because they're mad they got scored on. Wayzata because they're fired up to finally get one in. Hangler, the defenseman, this time leading the rush, playing it deep in the Wayzata zone. And she will wind up with it here as they circle back and regroup at center. Jacobson will toss it in here for the Eagles. Langseth blocked that pass, trying to go behind the net, D to D there. Tapped out to center where Macy Townsend will pick it up. Quickly intercepted, then Townsend whiffs on the next try, then the next one hits the referee and they didn't get it out. Wayzata playing it back in deep. Jacobson first to it. Intercepted though by Hackley and thrown down deeper. Langseth coming away with it now for EP. Under 8 minutes to go in the second. Now a 1-1 hockey game as Wayzata getting a bounce off a skate to get on the board. Here comes Langseth shooting. Oh, and Boswell Healy either got a piece of it. I think it definitely hit the pipe. She might have gotten her blocker on that one briefly too.
Well, Boswell Healy, I'll tell you, she's got it down now. I mean, she's covering that short side, and that's exactly where Langseth went. And she wasn't giving her any opening whatsoever.
Now Nora Wagner shooting. That one handcuffed Boswell Healy a little bit, but she's able to make the stop. Eagles buzzing here. Grace Kuipers puts it to the point, then a tip out front, and it goes just wide. I thought the pace of this game was pretty good before, but now it looks like we've ratcheted up a little bit here.
Trojans are getting tired in their own zone, though, here, Jay. And the legs ain't moving like they were.
Yeah, they could use a change, and they could use a whistle here, actually, as it comes loose in front. Here's a chance, and they score! Well, you called that one down as they were getting a little winded, and Becca Niss is only too happy to make them pay. And it is 2-1 Eden Prairie.
Boy, nice play there, too. Just constant pressure, using all 5 of your players. Defense was involved at the point. Forwards were looking good. Moves down here really nice. Gets her own rebound, follows it, and then comes through and just bangs it through the short side, I think. So junior Niss steps up and gives the Eagles a 1-goal lead again here, 2-1.
Spanier will get the assist as she had that initial shot try there for Eden Prairie.
Well, you don't want to get stuck in your zone too long, especially in the second period when you got the long change from your defensive zone.
Boy, and you couldn't have known there was going to be a goal coming from it, but you spotted it there, and it was right on as they were just finding themselves in a kind of a scramble mode and trying to get the puck out, and Eden Prairie made them pay. Long race for this puck here, and just barely, I'll say, DeCesar got to it. Oh, and Langseth overskated it. They would have had a 2-on-0 breakaway there, and it just looked like it kind of maybe got caught in some snow in front of the bench. Obviously, there's a lot of players coming and going in that little area. Now Langseth comes off the wall with it. Eden Prairie. Saw one of the coaches over there put their hands on their head like, oh no, because it was going to be literally a 2-on-0 breakaway.
Yep.
Thrown out front. That one never made it through. And the Trojans just have to clear. Eden Prairie's kind of turned up their pace here lately. Hengler with Branton chasing her, lofting it back, and so they'll get through everyone. And it's going to be an icing call against Eden Prairie, so we'll come back into the Eagles zone.
Well, Trojans getting in a desperate mode again, just kind of flop it out of the zone, and I'm kind of surprised by Hangler. Just a little bit too much of a loft there, but now we got a face-off down in the Eden Prairie zone for the Trojans here.
Comes loose, and Dobchek has to make a big stop on Osseo there. And Osseo wins that puck back again, puts it out front. Here's a backhand try, and Dobchek able to stop Sophie Urban as Wayzata. Good work off the face-off there.
They ran a play on that first one. It worked to perfection there. And this is the second attempt coming around as Urban puts a backhander on. Love backhanders. Absolute worst for the goalies.
One thing is, the coaches talked about too, and we're kind of noticing Wayzata not a lot of really strong shooters, it looks like right now. People that are just, putting a lot of pace on it and hitting top corners, and that's obviously a part of their game that they'll want to work on. And as you get a little bit older and stronger, that works too. I mean, obviously, first and foremost, to start being a good hockey player, you want to be a good skater. But the part about being able to really finish and have some good wrists and hands in close, that can make the next difference, becoming a goal scorer. Back out to the point here. Now Langseth with it for the Eagles. They put it up front. Whoa, and just slapped away at the last second. Burns was ready to. I mean, she had probably her celebration already in mind there, because that puck was going to be a goal if they didn't get a piece of it.
Well, they have a little time in the Eden Prairie defensive zone, and that line comes out, and all of a sudden they're generating a scoring chance in the Trojan zone here.
And a misfire as they tried to hit Matthews on the long pass on the way out, so it will be an icing call against Wayzata. Jess Christofferson, a little concerned maybe with the trend of the last 3, 4, or 5 minutes after her team scored that goal. Eden Prairie has really turned it up.
I've always been impressed with her. I've always thought she's a very good coach. You could just see the gears whirring in her head here. She's trying to figure, okay, what do I got to do here?
Banked out to center. Eagles had it briefly, then lost it, flipped ahead, and chopped into the zone. Wayzata, this is a hard-working team.
They are.
Laugan that time just stayed with it and got it into the zone, but now here come the Eagles back the other way, 2-on-2. Miss. Shooting. Boswell Healy the save. Back into the other corner and lofted out, and this is going to be another icing call here against Wayzata. And you're seeing the tired legs a little bit. Maybe for both teams, possibly a little more for Wayzata, because they've been having to defend, and that time just relieve the pressure. And but it's going to bring up an icing call.
Well, we were talking to Eden Prairie's coach, I think, too. One of the points that I may have, 2 or 3 more scores. They're stronger, though. Their skaters are stronger, and it's showing right here now.
And Boswell Healy will make the stop there, and then getting the glove up a little bit was Megan Marshall, and Radley didn't like it.
I can see Megan Marshall's really bugged by it, too.
Yeah. Well, and I think, this is the type of game that a defenseman kind of likes, because the referees are letting that go. When there's been a little bit of battle in front of the net and you're protecting your goalie, unless it gets too out of hand, they have just kind of said, that's hockey and play on.
Well, that's a defense, too. I like a little bit of mean. You want to get in the other team's head a little bit. Like every time the forward comes down and goes in front of the net, they know they're going to see me, and they ain't going to like the meeting.
Nice interception there in the neutral zone, but then it comes right back and then just flipped in there by Ava Wagner. As Eden Prairie was going to finish a line change there, it looked like they would have had a chance for an odd man rush there, but now another icing on Wayzata. They've started to fizzle here and have 3 icings in about the last minute or so, and not what they want to see. They're needing to regroup a little bit.
They wanted to get that long pass out there. We used to call that the eagle play, when the other team's making a change. Far forward goes way up to the other blue line, and you try and get a pass up to him, and if it misses, you get an icing.
Backhander there. Boswell Healy the stop, and Carrie Burns is shoved out of there by the Trojans. So 2:21 to go here in this second period, and a 2-1 lead for Eden Prairie, and they have started to take over later in this second period.
Right now at Wayzata, most importantly, don't make the mistake. Don't do the big turnover here. And always know where number 3 is on this line.
Wisniewski knocking it over for Swanson, and then that one misses everyone again. Another icing call coming against the Trojans. They're trying to relieve the pressure a little bit too. They've had difficulty breaking the puck out, and they're trying to do it, but it isn't quite connecting the way they want.
And you're relieving pressure, but you're tempting fate too. How many times you guys see about the 3rd or 4th icing, all of a sudden the attack team is getting it in the net.
Throwing back out to center here. Marshall will gain control for Wayzata. Dumps it in, but not all the way in. There's a nice play by Hengler to turn it right back the other way. And now thrown in deep by Carrie Burns. Townsend putting it up front. Langseth a shot, and Boswell Healy closed the pads in a hurry. As that time Langseth tried to go low 5-hole and tuck it away. Boy, great job on the forecheck. Their speed again showing up. Got to the puck.
This line if Eden Prairie just did a double shift. They took 3 face-offs on this, and they were out there for over a minute.
And knocked back in. They were offside.
But you know, it's interesting. You started talking about 7 minutes ago about the pace, and I was picking up and all that bit, and all of a sudden, Wayzata just wilted.
Eden Prairie trying to make a late change, and they said, no.
You see who's trying to put out there? The Langseth line again.
Minute 20 to go in the second. Eden Prairie 2, Wayzata 1. And here come the Eagles again with Nis, who scored the go-ahead goal for EP. Branton putting it ahead there, looking for Logan, and now Branton up with it. I think she wasn't sure if they were going to be onside there, so kind of waited. Under a minute to play now in the period. And a breakout works as they tried for the interception. High shot, Boswell Healy the save, and then thrown across. Wayzata kind of got away with one there. They tried to steal the breakout pass, and when it didn't work, it almost turned into a 3-on-1 really there. Now Hengler coming into the circle, fires, and Boswell Healy making a stop there. And she will cover up. Boy, the Eagles have dominated the shots in this second period right now up on the board. They've outshot Wayzata 19-5 so far in the second.
Boswell Healy's been up to the challenge, though, Jay. She's done a real good job this period because the pressure has just increased exponentially. They're getting outshot 24-12 right now.
Osseo flipping it out to center. Jacobson took it and plays it ahead, and they tried to go right to Langseth from Kuipers, but didn't quite connect. And then a turnover as it's knocked back deep by Burns. Trojans get it back though. 10 seconds to go in the period. Wayzata needs to at least just get it out to center right now. Couple seconds to go, and Eden Prairie will not get any more opportunities out of it, but a pretty dominant second period for Eden Prairie. Wayzata did score to tie it off a puck that went in off a defenseman's skate, but then the Eagles got the go-ahead goal, and they pretty much controlled that second period. We'll see if the Trojans have an answer in the third. You're watching Lake Conference Girls Hockey on CCX Sports. Eden Prairie leading Wayzata 2-1 after 2.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center. Eden Prairie leading Wayzata 2-1 after 2 periods of play here in Lake Conference Girls Hockey as we check out our highlights from period number 2. Shot coming from the point here, and that one into the glove of Grace Boswell Healy. And then Wayzata getting a little bit of an opportunity here. That was just after they killed off the only penalty of the game. But Dobchuk able to make the stop, and then Wayzata gets one here. Branton trying to pass it out front. It goes off the defenseman's skate, and a wild carom there past Dobchuk and in to tie it up at 1-1, but then the Eagles coming back strong. Langseth hits the pipe with that one. They really kind of took off and controlled the latter part of the period here, and they'll get one here. First shot knocked down, bounces free, and then Nis winds up with it and just shelves it over the top. The glove of Boswell Healy. A late opportunity there for Urban, but not a lot on that backhand try there, and Dobchek finds it in her glove. Another pretty good opportunity here as they dump it in and win the race to the puck. Got it to Langset here, and a pad save by Grace Boswell-Healy for the Trojans, but Wayzata kind of being dominated in that latter part of that second period. And the shots now favoring Eden Prairie 24-12. The lone penalty was taken by the Trojans in the second. We'll be back with period number 3 here from the Plymouth Ice Center as Wayzata tries to find an answer here and battle back and tie this one up against Eden Prairie.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Getting set for third period action here at the Plymouth Ice Center as Eden Prairie and Wayzata do battle here. The Eden Prairie Wayzata boys playing tonight too. Pat O'Leary, the Wayzata boys coach, stopped by and chatted with us a little bit. His team's picked it up pretty well lately here and kind of building toward the playoff time as they've had some success, obviously getting into the state tournament a year ago and winning it a couple of years back. Look at the top 10 in the girls hockey.
Actually, Fortina Gray should be Blake up there. Well, it was an interesting second period as we saw Eden Prairie, like you said, Jay, in the highlights, starting to dominate more in the second period, latter half. We'll see if Wayzata can regain their legs here. And a quick one here for the Trojans would be really, really good for them.
Yeah, I think they needed that intermission. They were back on their heels the last 6, 7, 8 minutes of that period. And, you know, we talked about, too, about these teams playing good schedule. And I think that helps to know, you know, the sky doesn't fall if you have a little bit of an off period. You fall behind. I mean, you're going to have a lot of games throughout the year where you're ahead. You're going to have a lot of games where you're behind. And you kind of learn to, you know, you want to have a sense of urgency, but you don't want your team to panic if things aren't going well for a stretch.
Well, you give up the lead goal, don't give up the next goal. That's all you got to worry about. They didn't. They weathered it. They played smart. They got out of that situation. Let's see if they can put something together here with at least somewhat rested legs.
And Boswell-Healy, as you said, has been solid in that. I mean, yeah, they've gotten a couple past, but they were pretty close in and pretty hard wrist shots to stop, but she's been solid. I like her positioning too. She's not, doesn't look like a goalie who, you know, has to scramble around. She's just more like, let's square up and block the shot initially like she just did there. Eagles, though, have come out strong to start the third period as well. Now Wisniewski picking it up for Wayzata. Pass at center knocked away from Urban, and that's something Eden Prairie's done a really nice job of all game long, is interrupting that Wayzata breakout, whether they take the first pass away or even just the second one through neutral like we just saw. And part of that too is the fact that they've got really good speed kind of at, you know, not every single player, but just spread throughout their lineup where they're quick to pucks, and that's creating some opportunities for them to create turnovers too, and they've been able to use that.
See, and again, you just saw the good stick work. A little flick here, a little flick there. Puck comes off, and bang, they turn it over.
A pass out front there just got underneath Matthews. Here's Branton. Branton has Wayzata's goal, and it was kind of a good reward for her. I wouldn't argue if you said she's been their best player out there, best skater out there tonight.
Well, the little sophomore's fearless. She doesn't mind skating down the middle and the guts of the slot, so she's done a good job. She also shows patience, especially on that last rush here where she passed back up to the point and then got it back and tried to get in the middle. I'm going to like watching both these teams for a couple of years here when these sophomores or seniors These are going to be two very powerful hockey teams.
Coach Christofferson was saying too for Wayzata that their JV team has had an excellent year, that they've got some players that are going to be pushing for varsity spots next year from that group. And she said, we've had to kind of preach patience with some of them too, because obviously you work hard and you feel like maybe I should be on varsity, but you need to recognize too, and it's hard for a young player in any sport to recognize that, but that you've still got a good opportunity to be part of this program, and be playing on your JV is a valuable learning time too.
Oh yeah, JV is not varsity, but it's a place where you can develop to be ready to play varsity when you get your opportunity.
Well, and particularly in these big schools and good programs like this too, there's only so many spots that you're going to have, and it doesn't mean you're not a good hockey player if you don't get picked, immediately for the varsity, and doesn't mean you can't move up, later in the season and maybe get on their playoff roster or whatnot too. There's a high shot coming up and over the top as the defenseman Hengler led that rush. Hengler banging away at it, goes off the side of the net.
Boy, Hengler relieving the pressure in the Eden Prairie zone all by herself, coming down and being an offensive power all around.
Shot attempt there by Burns. Didn't quite make it all the way through. Oh, and then a big collision. A couple of players go down right there. Dobchek will come out to meet it here. She wants to go long with that pass, but misfired for Langseth, and it'll be an icing call. No, they're going to wave it off. Now Langseth intercepts. Langseth to the front. A backhander was knocked down, and they try to go back to the point with it, hustling after it, but now Wisniewski with the steal. Pass bounces off of Osseo. Marshall, and it bounces up out of play, and we will get a face-off here just outside the Wayzata blue line with 13:50 to go in our third period. Still 2-1 Eden Prairie. Pretty good start again to the third for Eden Prairie. They came kind of more or less resumed where they left off in the second, and actually this draw is going to come inside the zone.
Well, the blood's in the water, and the Sharks are starting to circle here. They're kind of sensing it.
No, now we are going to go back out. The officials kind of met and discussed, and they will bring it back outside the blue line.
Now I'm gonna keep my eye out and see if Coach Gustafsson tries to get her number one line of Urban, Wisniewski, and Osseo away from this Langseth line of Eden Prairie. It's been pretty much of a matchup there, and they've been pretty much shut down and outplayed by that line by Eden Prairie.
Niss shooting. Boswell Healy the stop. Banked around now. Nora Wagner up with it for EP. Plays it down low. Trying to spin out of there with those Grace Pipers, but she's double teamed and the Trojans take it. Urban able to get it out to center, trying to bank it for Osseo. Here's Osseo. Backhander goes wide. Boy, good strength there to hold on to that puck, but just didn't have a great angle at that point to get a backhander on goal. Hopped up in the air here. Swanson trying to knock it into the Eden Prairie zone. Urban does get it in toward the corner. Spanier swings it around. And some physical play there from Danny Benson for Eden Prairie. Now that pass kind of in the middle of everyone there. And Gigi Jacobson kind of just shook her head at herself there like, I don't know where that one was going. So icing call here against EP.
Too much papa. Boy, that non-called icing down there. Watch Coach Gustafsson. Her heart was definitely fluttering there. She could see her visibly react.
Trojans able to control the draw. Branton wheeling out of there. Nice move into the circle. Branton cutting all the way across, fires, and she scores!
Oh my heavens!
What a goal by Branton. The first one was a glance off a defenseman's skate, but this one was all Branton, and was it a beauty.
The freshman with just a gorgeous play. Coming off the sideboards, two good moves. Fake inside, outside, go around, come back inside, fake a shot, come around, and then she finally got the shot. And at that range, I don't care how good a goalie you are, you're going to lose when you get a pretty good shot. And that was a good shot, Jay.
Unassisted goal, her 10th of the year, and I think she take objection. Oh, they throw it out front. Object falls down, scrambling to get to her feet. Now they throw it on net again just as she was getting settled. Wow. Wayzata all of a sudden turning it up. I'm going to say that Branton might take exception to the part when I was talking about that they didn't have great finishers, because that one sure looked like a goal scorer's goal right there. Just and great stick hammering too, as you said.
That's the right way to curse the kid right there, Jay. Good job.
Yeah.
My gosh.
She proved me wrong when I was talking the other way that they didn't have great finishers. So here's Langseth. Nice move there. Speaking of finishers there, but her pass a little bit behind. They'll have to regroup. Well, the first time Wayzata scored, it seemed to almost get Eden Prairie going more, but now Wayzata, you can see them feeling confident and gaining momentum a little bit as they get that tying goal on a great one by Branton. Comes into the EP zone there, but Ruby Moss couldn't control it. We talked about it early in the game, but kind of mention again when we were talking about Wayzata getting a little bit tired. They're without Maddie McCollins and Chloe Fallon today, both out with illnesses. A pair of juniors, a couple of centers on their, we're going to be centers on their second and third lines today. So that's forced everybody else into a little different role or a little bigger role. So, kind of hats off to them for battling back and tying this one up, being without a couple of players who are usually, fairly important to their lineup.
Well, McCollins is an 8-goal scorer, and that's a big loss to have, but I'll tell you what, Brandon's really stepped up here. Coach Verstappen is probably really pleased to see the freshman against Eden Prairie, and she's been a very good player in this game. Very good player. I think you said in the second period, she might be Wayzata's best player right now. But now Wayzata's got to keep the momentum now. They can't make the critical mistake. Play your game. Play your game. Do what you do well, and don't let Eden Prairie grab the momentum like they did in that second period again, Jeff.
Object the save on the long attempt there from the blue line. So face-off coming up in the Eden Prairie zone. Flicked out to center where it was knocked down by Marshall, but the Eagles do come up with it anyway as Burns plays it around looking for Macy Townsend. And the Eagles come away with it. Langseth working from behind the net. Had to put it out front. That one was blocked down, but we're going to have a penalty call coming up here. A high sticking minor. And so a power play forthcoming here as Wayzata will be penalized. Megan Marshall got the stick up.
And her and Langseth have been going at it pretty good. You see that in the second period. She was Marshall was rubbing all over the players. I still like the way she plays. The stick just got a little out of hand, and Wayzata's got to kill this one. Now, the Langseth line is out for Eden Prairie. They've just done a shift. So they're doing a double shift right now in the power play. So we'll see if that has any effect on where they're moving.
Shot attempt blocked, and guess who? Branton blocks it and drives it down the rink. I love it. Hengler back to get it here for Eden Prairie. Now Langseth whipping it across. Nora Wagner leaves it for Townsend. They'll get into the offensive zone, but then the puck knocked away, and a penalty coming up against Eden Prairie.
Absolutely.
As Townsend got a little frustrated, and it's going to be called for the cross check as she was stood up by the defender here, and right across the face. Townsend, that one was worse than I first thought, and it's definitely a penalty.
She brought out the big ugly here, and now we're going to play 4-on-4 for a minute and 33, so nullifies the Eagles' opportunity for a power play. And their last power play was pretty good, Jay. So
yeah, even though they didn't score on it, I was going to say they really moved the puck well and got a lot of shot attempts, and some of them pretty quality, so that doesn't help their cause. And definitely a good call though. Townsend, as she kind of just ran into the defenseman, then just brought the stick right across the face. Here's Wisniewski shooting. And it's tipped just wide.
Urban, nice play though, right in front. They've got Urban and Osseo out there right now. Good changed by Christopherson there. He's got two of the better players, older players out there right now.
Back out to Wisniewski at the point, who is a natural defenseman, who's been playing forward today, but now back on D for this 4-on-4. Hackley. Now Osseo. Almost looks like Wayzata's on the power play, but they're not. It's 4-on-4.
Well, Eden Prairie's playing like they're down a player. They put into a box right away. They're not going after the player. Puck carriers.
Couple of players go down here. Hackley trying to keep that one in and did, and probably a good thing she did. There was momentum headed the other way if not. Jacobson up with it.
Oh.
Got away from Nis, and Wisniewski back to play it for Wayzata. Wisniewski spinning out of there as they're changing their forwards now. Wisniewski carrying it into the Eagles zone. Looking out front, but she's fanned on it. Then the pass eventually gets there, and the backhander swept way wide by Matthews. And Eden Prairie looking to counter. Here comes Nis. Nis will dump it in, and they'll change forwards here. Penalty time to Wayzata is now up, so it's a power play for about 25 seconds for the Trojans. Branton throwing it to the corner, missed the net there. Matthews gets to it, but falls. Now Branton sliding it across to Swanson. Her shot knocked down.
That's a bad mistake. You never hit the shin pads. Put it deep. You don't have to put it on net as a D out there, but don't throw it into the player coming out the block.
Langseth looking right wing now. Macy Townsend. She's out of the box. Penalties are over. We're 5 aside. Townsend shot knocked down though. Now an opportunity. Here's a drive. Boswell Healy making the stop on Ava Wagner's rising shot. And Boswell Healy put up her stick to protect herself there and serve notice that if you come at me here, you might taste a little bit of a goal stick.
There's no need for Carrie Burns to go in there. There's no need to do that. Puck was into her chest. There's no problem. I'm sorry. I'm talking like a defenseman, Joe. My fault.
2-2 hockey game here now. 7:20 to go in the third, and that pass doesn't connect. It'll be an icing call against Wayzata. So the Trojans have managed to, coming into the third period, I thought, they're only down by a goal, but they're going to have to turn things around, and they've been able to successfully do it.
And I think in this situation with what we've been watching, they go down by 2 goals. That might be insurmountable to come back from, but they've gutted it out. You said it's like a period. They work hard.
And certainly feels like they have the momentum right now. You're seeing Eden Prairie just, not be quite as aggressive in a lot of these situations. And
way more time being spent in the Eden Prairie zone this period. Way more time.
That pass doesn't connect, and the Trojans tried to send it in deep, but didn't quite happen there as it was blocked off. Tipped ahead. Here's Osseo going to the net. Drop pass. Oh, and it hit the pipe. Great unselfish play there, but the shot from, I believe it was Marshall, hit the goalpost. Wisniewski firing. Now it's loose in front. Oh, another and Dobchek with a save. And then the net comes off.
Oh, my.
Couple of golden opportunities there for Wayzata.
Oh, the Wisniewski line and Marshall came out and just put a show on here. Nice play right there. Back to, and then brings it to the middle here. Urban, I think. Yep, gets it across. And they get the puck in the front. And look at there, right in front. There was a great save there. I think it was Osseo that got that shot on the pads.
Yeah, Wisniewski's quite a shooter there too, and saw that one, but Robbinsdale coming up big. Here are the Trojans again out front, and that one couldn't get a stick on it. There's a good back check. Centering pass here, knocked away. Branton up with it. Branton trying to put it on net, but it was deflected. Boy, Wayzata completely dominating now after it looked like they were a team that was struggling to get control back here early in the third. High up along the wall there as Matthews tried to bring it out front. Now it does come free. Branton, her pass was knocked away. Eden Prairie just needs to get this puck out, and they're going to ice it. And that was one of those times where they needed, a whistle so bad they didn't even care if they iced it.
Yeah, I noticed Crystalline Hanger now. She's been on for a double shift. She's still out there. They didn't change her, but Wayzata, nice, good pressure, good play. And we talked a number of these games where I said when you're down in the zone, make sure you hit the goalie in the pads. That's exactly what Wisniewski did, and all of a sudden they got issues. I mean, Wayzata's right there pounding the puck.
Osseo tried to go high on the stick side there and just put it over the top. He's in pretty good shooting position off the draw. Now Eden Prairie, I don't think they would have expected this to be happening. Right now they're feeling really bottled up. But here comes Langseth leading the rush. Langseth floating it out front, knocked away. It comes back to her, but then knocked aside. Langseth giving it over, back out to the point it comes. Jacobson shot, knocked down, never made it there. Now Wisniewski looking for Osseo. Urban ahead of her, but she couldn't control it.
Urban with a nice play there, though, to make sure that it got stuck down in the zone so they could make a line change.
Langseth wants to get a change for EP, so she'll flick it in deep. Swanson.
Oh, mistake.
Yeah, they just about gave it away there. Kuiper's chasing after it. Down to 4:15 to go in the hockey game here. 2-2 our score. Wayzata's played a great third period after Eden Prairie kind of dominated period 2. And this play offside at the blue line here. So down the stretch we go.
Hangler made a nice play for the Eagles there on the blue line. She stopped that rush and got that offside cause.
And Allen plays it to the corner and then goes down hard. Hengler coming up with it for the Eagles, getting it ahead to Wagner. Wagner goes off the skate of Marshall.
I think we're looking at a couple third lines here, Jay.
Wrangler throwing it, I think you're right. Laid back down deep, Wagner chasing after it. And things get physical out of that play there. Both players kind of look over at the referee. Megan Marshall back to pick it up for Wayzata. First try didn't quite work, but Eden Prairie was changing, so no real pressure on her there. Thrown back to the corner. Not a very smooth breakout to start anyway by Wayzata.
But they're not giving up control. That's huge, Jay.
Dobchek out to play it here. She'll swing it around for Hengler. And that pass into the shin pad of Laugen. Trojans turn it right back out, and Matthews trying to play it to Branton, but intercepted there by Eden Prairie's Spanier. Down to 2:35 to go in a 2-2 hockey game here. We're not in overtime, but it kind of has the feel of next goal would probably win this one if there is one in regulation.
Well, you and I kind of had a suspicion we were going to see a good one, and we sure have. I mean, both these teams work hard. They play good hockey on all the ends of the ice. And with one exception of dominance in the second period there by Eden Prairie, this has been a toe-to-toe game.
That pass off target, but it's going to come right into Boswell Healy, so no icing there. Under 2 minutes to play now. Marshall chased back, but then got it ahead. Wisniewski banking it to Osseo. Osseo up the right side. Oh, but a great play. Hengler got back and took it away. Back out to center. Wisniewski picking it up for the Trojans. Her pass intercepted. And then the D falls. Grace Kuipers will pick it up. And a good cover up there as it didn't end up costing the Trojans. Now Megan Marshall to Urban. Urban trying to get control of a bouncing puck there.
Good decision right there.
Back pass though intercepted by Langsup. Couldn't get it out though as Schindler knocked it back in there. Approaching a minute to go here in the third. Yes. Under a minute now to go. 2-2 hockey game. Yes, trying to drag it out front. Instead it's taken away, and here comes Wayzata. Oh, but then a steal the other way. Wow. Grace Kuipers with a poke check. Back out to center, and Gigi Jacobson will carry it back in for Eden Prairie. Tipped ahead, and here comes Branton, a breakaway. Branton in alone, scores!
Oh my gosh!
The hat trick for Branton, and could you get any more dramatic with the last of the three?
The pure hat trick. He scored 3 consecutive goals for the freshman. Wow. Look at this. She just takes her time, cool as a cucumber, and just finds the left side. Look at her. Got her head up. I'm scoring here, lady. I don't care how good you are. Oh, my. Wow, what a performance by the freshman today, Greta Branton. My gosh, Gretchen Branton. Look at that smile. Wow, fantastic.
Now for Wayzata, just hang on. Dobchek heads to the bench for EP as they bring out the extra attacker. Centering pass here, intercepted and not out. Jacobson up with it, throws it out front. Another steal, and they'll get it out. Branton has a chance for a fourth, but missed the empty net, but that's all right. Clock continues to tick. Matthews. And the time's going to run out, and Wayzata with a comeback win. And this one feels extra special. Yeah, it's the regular season, but they hand Eden Prairie their first conference loss. They come from down 2-1. And a great third period for Wayzata. They had plenty left in the tank in that third.
They really did. Got up off the floor and really went at it and continued their hard work. Got a break with that second. Branton with a beautiful move. Get it tied up. And then, of course, the breakaway. Oh, my gosh. Tremendous game. This is just really a fun game to watch by two very good hockey teams going at each other. You know, the Lake Conference can't beat it. My gosh. Both teams playing really hard and well.
Wow. 3-2 victory here for Wayzata. We'll be back to wrap things up here from Plymouth Ice Center in just a moment as Branton delivers the game winner. Welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center. Wow, what a great hockey game here as Wayzata rallies to beat Eden Prairie 3-2 and getting the game winner with 30 seconds to go and the hat trick for the freshman Gretchen Branton. It's safe to say this is one of your most memorable hockey games you've had?
Oh my gosh, it's extremely memorable for me. I don't know, it's just great.
You guys trailed at 2-1 coming into the third. They kind of dominated the second period, but did you still feel pretty confident coming into the third that you guys had a good chance to come back and do with us what you did?
Oh yeah, in the locker room, we went through what we need to work on, and I think I took that in, and we put it to work out on the ice.
Your tying goal was fantastic, and then the puck winds up on your stick in the last minute breakaway. What were you thinking as you were coming up ice there in that last rush?
I was like, oh my gosh. This goalie is unbelievable, and I was just like, if I score, there's 30 seconds and we can win this thing. Like, it's great.
Huge celebration when it ended too. This got to do a lot for your team's confidence. You know, how special a win is it, even though it is, still regular season. It almost felt like a playoff game.
Oh yeah, especially because this was one of our Lake Conference games. I think we took that in really good, and I think we're going to put it forward in our season to come.
Great performance here today, Gretchen. It was a lot of fun to watch, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
And Grace Boswell-Healy,
standing tall in net, giving your team a chance there. You know, how much fun is it to face a really good team like EP and get challenged and make a lot of big saves?
It's so fun. Just getting those hard shots, making the saves feels really good. Just playing for the person next to me really good. Coming up with this win against Alexa, the EP goalie. She's amazing. All in all, it's just like a great game. We're just super hyped right now.
Yeah, they had just beat Edina earlier this week, and you guys come in, give them their first conference loss. You know, how big of a win is it for your Trojans team?
I mean, it's a huge win. We haven't beat Eden Prairie in a while, and that they beat Edina, like, it was just a huge win for us, and we're just super excited for the rest of the season.
You're watching from the other end of the rink when you see Gretchen coming up ice. What were you thinking as she was coming in on the breakaway?
I was speechless. I was like, I can't believe that happened. She's like a talented player, and I was just so excited.
Heading down toward the end of the regular season here, you know, how much does a win like this, you know, bring you guys ready and closer to playoff ready?
Mm-hmm. You know, it's a huge win. I feel like we're getting closer to playoffs, and this is a huge win for us. And I don't know, it's just we're looking forward to what's coming.
Nice job here today, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, Wayzata Trojans winning it over Eden Prairie here today, 3-2, as we said, in thrilling fashion, as Gretchen Branton completes the hat trick with a breakaway goal with 30 seconds left. Great game here today, and we hope you enjoyed it. For Dan Ficken and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. So long from Plymouth Ice Center.